Hello everyone and welcome back to the Dragon's Den. I am a mythical dragon and we are still talking about D&D this week as I have a very special guest. Her name is Ro and she'll tell you a little bit about herself. Boom.
Like Dragyn said, I am Ro, or Miss Ro if you prefer. I do art and animation recently, and drawing, and D&D, which is what we're talking about today.
Yes, she's very talented, so of course with all my guests on the podcast I'll post all their things in the description, so definitely go check them out because they deserve it. So yeah, basically last week in the podcast, I feel like I'm doing a Pokemon episode almost. Last week, our adventures. More like last week, I talked about all of my experiences with D&D, the things I've learned from it, the benefits, and all that jazz. So I'm not going to go into that for myself again this week. That'd be too much in 2 weeks. So I'm going to ask Ro a series of questions to get her talking about D&D and what it means to her and all of these things. And you will see for yourself as soon as I begin. And let's begin. So, Ro, tell me, what got you into D&D? What got you started and interested in D&D?
Well, I don't know about for you, but I know for a lot of people it's been Critical Role was probably like the go-to answer. But mine was actually a different D&D show, which I don't know if I can mention on this podcast, but
Go for it.
Chris Perkins had Anna Foster Robbins. It was the Waffle Crew with
Yes.
DM Chris Perkins and Holly and Nate's amazing. But yeah, I started watching their adventures through the Curse of Strahd, and I was like, this looks like a lot of fun. I want to play. So I got on Roll20, and I was able to find a group fairly quickly. Sad that that game was short-lived, but I had a lot of fun with people that I was playing with before the time I got to play with them. And that kind of leads me into the experience I was going to tell you about before, Dragyn, that I mentioned in your Discord server. Yeah. So, first game I played I forget the class. I remember distinctly it's a male character, and that was my first time into D&D, into playing like I think it was a fighter. It was my go-to for that one, and so I just gotten done playing with that, and then I found another game, also on Roll20, which was an emo campaign, which I was like, oh my god, yes! I made a werewolf fighter, because I love werewolves, my favorite mythical creature, and I was just like so excited to play, and got into the Discord server, and I saw that 2 of the other players were already in the call. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna join them, gonna introduce myself, and then it happened. I started talking, and I had talked to them in the text chat about my character and referred to her as a her. And the moment I started talking, they're like, one of them was like, wait, you're a girl playing a girl character. I'm like, yeah? And what he said next was such a red flag for me. It's like, my brother, who is the DM, is going to be so relieved to hear that. I'm like, sitting there like, what? I didn't say it, but I was like, this is someone of, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Like, again, I was like, got done playing a dude, and this seems to be relieved that I'm playing a chick, because I'm a chick. Interesting?
Yeah?
Okay.
So how did it go on from there? Yeah.
Well, thankfully, that person wasn't my DM. I don't remember what happened exactly, because it's been like 3 years, I think, now. But ended up he wasn't our DM, thank the gods. Someone else was our DM. He was amazing. One of his homebrew roles, I was like, kind of iffy about, but overall, he was an amazing, fantastic GM. Ended up going with him for another 2 or 3 different games with the same group. So that was my longest running group to date, was with those people. Sadly, I don't talk to any of them anymore because life. But it was a lot of fun. I think 3, maybe 4 good memorable moments from those different games with those people. And I think one other group, which is actually why I got another character that you're familiar with, Dragyn. Nat was actually from another game.
Yes. Good old Nat.
I didn't get to play her for near as long. My tiefling rogue, love her to death. But yeah, I went with that group for a few months, I think, and then things happened, drama happened, and I eventually had to leave the group for personal reasons. But I still kept in touch with some of them from, I think at least 2, maybe 3 of them that I still kept in touch with for a while, and we played in different games. I'd actually DM'd a game for one of them at one point. I forget what it was. I think it was, I want to say it was Curse of Strahd. I started running for them, but that sadly fell through. I do want to come back to that at some point. But from there, I kind of took a break from Dungeons and Dragons, and then I started getting into Critical Role again. Or I say again, but I'm trying to remember. It's been a very, very long time, so bear with me. But yeah, I got into Critical Role. I think because Travis and Laura were in it, 2 of my favorite voice actors from like Oron and FMA and FMA Brotherhood and so on. So I started watching because of them, but I say it because the cast is absolutely amazing. And I've been watching since the beginning of Campaign 2, I kind of got caught up with, and then you've been going back and watching Campaign 1 slowly but surely.
Same.
Yeah.
It's a lot of content and a lot of hours of D&D to get through.
Yes, it is. It is. I think the new one's gonna be a lot longer than the previous ones. I'm like, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah. Well, excellent. Yes, for me, D&D as well. I loved all those shows too, and I still watch Critical Role myself, so I understand. A good cast equals good adventure, so
For sure, yes.
So you talked a little bit about your favorite moments and brought them up briefly, so I'm curious, what are your favorite character moments or game moments? You can talk as long as you want about them. People love D&D, so let's hear it.
Yeah, okay. So one of my 2 favorite moments is from the same game, the Evil Campaign. I remember the first one kind of led to the second one. So the first one was our DM did this thing where he gave us like presents for our birthdays and for Christmas. And one of the gifts that he gave one of the characters who was I forget the class, but he was a gnoll. One of the things that he gave the gnoll was a skull with, I think, 2 or 3 wish spells in it. And the first thing the gnoll wished for was a weapon that his god would be proud of. And thus we had Scarlet, this little gnoll hybrid werewolf baby that the gnoll character and my werewolf were parents of.
You what? Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, even the player who played the gnoll was like, went to the DM like, what? And the DM's like, you asked for a weapon that your god is proud of, and what his most proud of is the gnolls. So you have a gnoll child. Congratulations.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, Scarlet, oh my god, her stats were insane. I wish I had a screenshot of her sheet still, but her stats that the DM had for her were insane. So yeah, that led to my second favorite moment. Fast forward a few sessions, we're going through a dungeon crawl, and the Lich Bard, for whatever reason, decided that she was going to take our little Scarlet into a very questionable room with, like, I don't really know what they were. I don't think we even figured out they were, like some kind of children, maybe, like, soulless children, like, I think the empty child from Doctor Who, maybe? But she took their child took Scarlet into the room, came back with no Scarlet. It did not go well for that Lich Bard, let me tell you. We were on her so fast.
No kidding.
It was me, yeah. The whole party was on her so fast. Like, where's Scarlet? She's like, it's fine. She's right there. Like, where is Scarlet?
Yeah.
Like,
damn.
we were ready to kill this bard over our child. Over our graphic child. And even the DM was like, I have never seen a party turn so fast on a member than you guys did just now. It was amazing.
No kidding, my goodness.
Yeah, and I think same campaign, my third favorite moment from that one was, I think again it was belated Christmas or belated birthday present for me in game, and it was a Dragon Fire's Breath ring that had one charge, I think, per dawn of like this really powerful magical spell. But the way I was given it was through a dream with my werewolf character and the gnoll proposing to my character.
Oh!
Yeah, so the way it was set up, it was like this romantic dinner, like candlelit dinners within this stream. And then the DM said, and then the gnoll gets on one knee and he gives you this ring and puts it on your finger. And you wake up and it's on your finger. And both me and my character were flipping out so hard that I immediately like, she takes the ring off and throws it across the room. And he's like, it goes right back to your finger. I'm like, sorry, what? What?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's just like one of my 3 favorite moments from that game. There was one other. I can tell it if you want, if we have time.
Oh, absolutely. Go for it.
Okay, so my werewolf character has 3 forms. Her werewolf form, her human form, and then her wolf form. And she got peer pressured into going into her wolf form to try and break down this door. I think she was successful, but she broke down the door because they're trying to rescue our Lich Bard because she was some strange guy who turned out to be a cultist. So we had to go rescue her from the cultist.
Yeah, right.
So we broke down this door, and started going down into this cultist headquarters. And there was this door that we came to that was covered in blood for some reason. It was like just dripping with blood. And our null character immediately like, blood, yes, and started like licking the blood from the door. And whenever we tried to get near it, he started growling at us like, this is my door. No, this is my door. So what my character had to do was seduce the gnoll as a wolf. So what she did was and my freaking DM's like, no, she has to describe what she does. I'm like, I fucking hate you. So I had to describe in detail how my poor little werewolf child went into the store and dipped the blood, like dipped her tail into the blood, and started seductively waving her hips in front of the gnoll for him to get away from the door, so that we could progress the story.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So now, Dragyn, now that you know that, that's kind of like I was reluctant in our other campaign to have Nat seduce the elf. I'm like, whatever it was, like, do I have to do this again? Am I going down this freaking rabbit hole again with another character? 2 campaigns in a row? Are you flipping kidding me?
Fair.
Like, as Nat, she's like, yeah, let's do this. I'm like, no, it's not.
Oh, yes, the character player conundrum.
Yeah. I was like, I'm ready for this. I'm like, I'm not ready.
Wow. It's definitely an interesting turn of events. Yeah.
And then afterwards, the gnoll and the werewolf were very, very close afterwards.
Yes.
Just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was never explored, thankfully, but yes, it was a thing.
Oh my goodness.
those are my three favorite, and then there's my one least favorite with my poor half elven bard that got teleported into what was hell for her basically, because she loved nature and animals and bright colors, and somehow she got transported to this desolate wasteland and had a breakdown for a good few minutes. And then there was a spider goat. Yep. I can talk about the spider goat if you want, but oh my god.
Yes, please. What is a spider goat?
I don't know if it's an actual monster, and please, for the love of gods, do not show this with our DM until after the campaign's over, because if I had to find another one of these...
Makes notes.
But it was a character that... my monster that was either, I think, homebrewed from RDM's other game that they had come up with. And it was a spider that had burrowed into a goat and taken it over somehow. I'm not quite sure how it worked, but we ended up fighting a spider goat. And there's one part where we were fighting it, and its head shot out at us like a snake and attacked one of the party members.
Ugh.
Yeah. And there's another moment. I could just go on for hours, but...
I mean, let's go for one more moment. Go for it.
Yeah, I can keep going. Okay. So one moment, same campaign with the spider goat. My half-elven bard had a brother, half-brother, who was, I want to say, a winged tiefling, I think it was. And he was convinced by another party member to, quote-unquote, milk this goat.
Oh,
he
dear.
was prior to becoming spider goat. And mind you, this was a male goat.
Oh, dear.
Milking. Yes.
Oh
yes. But with me and my character were like, no, don't do it, no. But he did it.
And was there success?
I need to find a success.
Was milk drawn?
Something was drawn.
Okay.
That way.
Right. Same color, and we're good.
Yeah. So those are my favorite moments thus far. My D&D experience. Please, next question.
Yes, wow, that was quite a ride. I love it. Alright, so out of all the characters you've played, which character is your favorite and why?
Oh my goodness. My instinct seems to go with my first one, which was the Werewolf Fighter. But I am loving playing Nat so far because she's the second character that I've had to play the most out of thus far.
Yee.
Yeah, because number one, she's a rogue, and I absolutely love rogues.
Fair.
Number two, she's, at least so far, she and I are kind of alike, aside from that one moment she's like, yeah, let's seduce this lady. I'm like, let's not. No. Aside from that, we're very similar, aside from that one difference so far. So she's very easy to play as opposed to any other character that I've done thus far. And I'm just excited to explore her story a bit more going forward on our campaign.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, so for those that don't know, Ro and I are in a campaign together, and she's playing Nat in that campaign, so it's been interesting. What's your favorite? What's your favorite Nat moment?
Oh, I think thus far from the few games that we've had is the very first one, because her interaction with the other rogue character, Tobias, was just so much fun for me and Nat, because actually I don't know if that was never posted, but her very first interaction with Tobias was she had gotten this ruby that he had stolen from a merchant and was just taunting the hell out of him, like, you want this back? Oh, you want this? You want this back? You want this right here, this thing that I have in my hand? This thing?
Oh, I love it.
And Tobias was like, yes, I want that back, woman. I want it back right now. Like, I'll get back to you if you say please.
Yeah.
That was the moment I was like, I love this character so much.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's familiar to me too because just of how she handles the drunken monk that we had in that campaign too, and how she handles him is just pretty similar. So I love it.
Yeah, especially that I don't know if you heard it, that one remark she made to him in that same episode where we're trying to gonna go seduce that lady, like Eleanor.
Yes.
He like puts his arm. He's like, I put my arm around that shoulder. Like, you move your arm, I will break it.
Yes. Oh my goodness. The veiled threats between Nat and Sunday have been great.
Yes.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Oh, I love this game so much.
I know, right?
Yeah, so kind of a different sort of transition now. For playing D&D, what do you hope to get out of it? Like, what are your goals with D&D? What do you hope to do in the game now that you've played it for a few years?
Number one, keep playing for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Number two, I think make new stories with especially like you and Finn's group, but maybe like with other groups, or maybe there's a friend that I've been trying to get to play D&D with me. So it's like one of my goals on my to-do list is to get him into D&D finally. I got to watch one episode of Critical Role, so progress.
There you go. Excellent.
Yeah.
What about DMing?
Yeah, making stories.
So making stories, friend getting into it. What about like DMing and like creating your own story to play through?
That's awesome. That's maybe like a bit further down because my last attempt did not go as well as I had hoped because I was not that prepared. Yeah, so definitely prepare a bit more for my next endeavor as a DM. So that way I can be maybe not the best DM, maybe not like Mercer level, but
yeah,
you know, enough people will like enjoy playing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no one can be Matthew Mercer like level, or even like Mark Sherlock Holmes or Chris Perkins levels. They've been playing it for so many years.
They have.
Yeah. So, yeah, excellent. I think those are some pretty good goals to have. For me, I didn't realize I never actually set goals for myself, but I want to finish the homebrew campaign that I'm creating. Because I had such a cool idea that kind of brings in like Waterdeep from the world to like meets like Treasure Planet idea with like Atlantis, like combining those three elements together, and it's been so much fun to have like all these ideas written down in a notebook, but then I've stopped and I really need to go back to that one day. Because I think it's been interesting to create all these weird quirky characters, because that's basically my niche, is weird quirky characters. Yes.
Yeah, I remember you. Are you gonna say something?
No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I remember hearing you say that in the last episode. Like, those are two of my favorite movies of all time. You're talking my language, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to get it all fleshed out. It's all up in the brain, just not quite fleshed out on paper. But it'll get there one day.
One day. Yeah, I actually had a character idea this morning that I was like, this would be perfect in that kind of setting. And I want to play it right now.
Well, I gotta start adding this to my project list.
Yeah. I can picture this character now if you want, or I can do it afterwards, but I was like, I really want to do this now.
You know what? I'm curious. Go for it. Pitch me your character.
Okay, so, normally when I go with the character, I go, like, with a race or a class, but no, this started with a dog drawing that I did ages ago, which I can't find, which really saddens me, but it was, like, a little steampunk dog with like a top hat and a vest and a manacle. And I was like, you know what? I want to be a little like companion for an artificer character that is
Ooh.
also like the steampunk aesthetic and has like this little helper dog that goes around like carrying a little like wrench in his mouth, like a little backpack, and it's going on adventures. Like, yes,
Oh, I love it.
I need this in my life.
Oh, perfect. Do you have a name for this little companion yet?
I'm going with I think I want to go with Sparky.
Ah,
That's my first thought. Sparky.
yes. Oh my goodness, I love it.
I have to go back to my drama at some point, but yeah, he was so cute. I miss him. He's not
Oh,
even. All he was like a little drawing that I did at one point as an inside joke between a friend and myself, like ages ago. I'm like, Sparky.
oh, that's so great. I love it. Excellent. I'm gonna have to like now read up more on Artificer because I have no idea what those are sometimes. So I have to get ideas.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so going to more of a connection between D&D and life kind of now direction with the podcast. Uh, what are some things that D&D has taught you?
It's interesting because I didn't notice this myself. It was actually someone else that noticed this. Was whenever I'm playing, I guess like and that especially is they notice I'm a bit more forceful than I am out of game, which I never really realized until they pointed out to me. Like, you know what? They're right. I like just they're like, I know it's like role playing, but I know that you can be more forceful. I've seen it. I'm like, that's a fair point. I've never noticed that before.
Interesting.
So it's like, yeah, it's like a chance to be something that I'm usually not, which apparently is more direct than I would be out of game. So I'm just like, I could say this, I could not say it. I don't want to create conflict, so I'm not just going to say it. I'm just going to, go clear some music or something. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, whereas now it's like, fucking excuse you, what did you just say to me?
Very much
You
so.
want to
go? Yeah. Oh, I can totally see that.
Like that one time, her and Fiera, I swear, we're gonna like brawl it out and like keep that tavern that one time. I was ready for it.
Well, yeah, that would have been great. Do it like a rogue versus a soldier. Oh boy.
That would be interesting.
That would be a pretty cool battle and like potentially cool artwork. Just saying.
Yes. You see that as I have my sketchbook after ready. Pencil, paper, yes.
Here we go. This is the greatest thing about having a friend who's into D&D and art. It's great.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite things about D&D. Like with our game and like Critical Role, I was like, I can see this. I can visualize in my head. I want to draw this right now, but number one is like I don't have the time and I don't have the skill level.
Oh, peach posh.
Like that one scene with Lucian and Jester after that one episode with the reading, and like I can see it in my head, but I can't get it on paper.
Oh goodness, that would be really cool. Like in your style specifically, that would be really cool.
Maybe. I've thought about it. I really, really want to do this. It's like in my brain ever since like, I want to do this, but I have like a ton of other drawings to do before I can do them on.
Fair. You're gonna have to have like a art journal, idea journal, or something like that, just to kind of start listing it all.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
I have 11 more notebooks or sketchbooks. It will happen.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're ready. Right. Well, this is actually a good transition because my next question was, how has D&D helped you, like personally in your life? Like for you as a person, how has it helped you?
It has definitely given me a creative outlet that I desperately needed, especially in the times that we're in now.
Yeah, definitely. Can you say more about that?
Well, like especially like with my art, it gives me like inspiration to try to draw something that I probably otherwise wouldn't have thought of. Like, again, with Lucy and Jester, and like, there's one moment in our campaign where Moontide got the Cloud of Madness cast on her, and I could just see it in my head, like the Eleanor just like reaching over and like whispering, like, Cloud of Madness, and then immediately like this picture came to my head of like just clasping Moontide's shoulders and just like whispering in her ear, and I was like, I have to draw this. This is amazing. And I very rarely have that feeling with anything else that I have in my life right now. So it's given me something to like express, I guess, the things that I wouldn't do normally, like settings and character designs and props that I have wanted to do for so long, but I haven't had the, I guess, inspiration for it until I got into D&D and watching D&D, and then it's like just drawing idea after drawing idea, and like, I'm gonna do this one and 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 this one.
Yeah, I can see it too.
And it's like, yeah.
I mean, I've known you since
passion. Yeah.
Sorry, because like I've known you since before even both of us got into D&D really like fully, because we were on Minecraft for a bit, and like that kind of such. And it's funny because like you can, I guess, get inspiration from Minecraft maybe, but yeah, I think even for me, like just D&D, like the ideas that can come from your head just suddenly because of one moment or like one thing that you see is like, whoa, I thought of this, and it gets really exciting. For me, it's not necessarily art, because I mean, you guys, look at this podcast image, right? Am I right? But for me, it's more of like ideas. Like I find myself thinking about D&D a lot more than I have ever in my life before this, really. Where I can watch an anime and suddenly there'll be like a really cool episode or a cool plot to an episode, and I'm like, that would be cool as a campaign. Oh no, what am I doing? And you get into that rabbit hole quite easily. But you were saying something about passion. What were you going to say about passion?
It's like, it's one of the things that, like, as a creative, if I don't have the passion for it, I can't put the hours into it. If I don't have the motivation and the drive to do it, like, to see it through to the end. But like recently, I've had the commission pieces, which I've absolutely loved doing. But I also have like these passion projects, like where I have stayed up for healthy hours on end, just sitting at my tablet, just drawing. Like, I wish to go to bed, but I want to do this on paper, but I go to bed. And I just love those moments because it's like, it's what keeps me up at night, and a lot of times it's what gets me out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
Is knowing that I can get up and put on some music and just start working and keep working at it. It's like for me, it's like a mental puzzle. Like, I have all the pieces in my mind. I just have to put them together on paper or on the tablet. And sometimes I don't have all the pieces. If that makes sense. Like, sometimes I don't have, like, I don't know how to do hair, or I don't know how to do hands, because hands are really flipping hard.
Yeah.
But I know what I want it to look like. I just need to practice a bit more and step back and like, okay, breathe.
Yeah.
I know you want to get this done, but just take a second and figure this out, because otherwise you're going to rush through it and it's going to turn out terrible. It's going to ruin the rest of the picture. So just wait. Just wait. I know you want to do it now, but wait.
Yeah, I've got another artist friend who will run into the same thing, and her and I realized that it's almost like your guys' version of like a writer's block almost, where you're getting into the zone and then suddenly it comes to like, I want to make a clenched fist, but how do you draw a clenched fist?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like your version of a writer's block, but she's actually got a really cool idea where she'll go look at references and like watch tutorials of like how to like draw closed fists and like how to make the lines and like the details and texture, and so sometimes that's what she does to like get out of her block. But she's also told me at the same time that it also pisses me off because if I can't follow the tutorial and make it look like the tutorial, then I hate it.
Yes, yes, I can relate.
Yeah. Well, that's so cool though. Like that D&D's kind of giving you that drive to get back into it, like
Mm-hmm.
into art and like trying new things. Because I know you've been doing more, like you did some abstract stuff before, and then I've been throwing some nice little curves at you too with merch and things.
Yeah, those are always fun.
But it's cool that you're getting to the more, I guess, I want to say realistic art, but at the same time it's based in fantasy, so it's like, yeah, both. Is this fantasy or is this real life? Um,
Is this the?
so where I was going for that. Huzzah!
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's super cool. Besides like art and things like that, is there any other ways that D&D's helped in any other way, or has helped or
Um,
given you something, or
as you know, I'm an avid reader. I love my books. As I'm looking at my
yes,
bookshelf full of books.
same?
But one of my all-time favorite kind of books, yeah, all-time favorite kind of books, I don't have them anymore, was the choose your own adventure kind of books
Mm.
that I had way, way back when. Especially, I think there was one that was a Goosebumps book that I either had or I found at a library or something. But it was, I just, like, one of my favorite kind of things was those kind of books, those kind of games, those kind of stories. So I think D&D has definitely given me that element of choose your own adventure, but you're doing it with all these other people, and that's just what makes it so much more fun for me personally. It's like, I'm making my own story, I'm writing my own book, this is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and like it just also shows you that that's also the same for like many other people in shows too, because even with Critical Role, you can tell that they don't want the stories to end and they've had to like put it down in paper and print, especially because their first campaign ended forever ago, really. It feels like it.
Yeah.
And so with them, they haven't wanted that to end, and of course they're lucky, right, with the resources they have and connections they have to actually get it printed. But
hmm
it's so cool, even like for those of us that will post it online or whatever, we can go back and we could piece it all together, and it's so exciting.
It is.
Oh, I love D&D so much.
Hmm.
All right, next little long and potentially last segment. We'll see. We've been kind of going into other segments and tangents as we go, which is totally fine. It's how I do my own podcast. Let's be real. Uh, but according to you, why do you think people should get involved in D&D?
Sorry, my was barking at something. Um,
No worries. So, like, why do you think
honestly,
people should get
yeah.
involved in D&D? Like, what? Sell it to someone who has never played before. Why do you think they should play?
Well, let's see. Number one, you get to meet new amazing people and make new friends and make stories. And number two, you can be anything you want to be. It's a fantasy world. You could be a buff barbarian. You could be a little halfling. You can be anything you want to be in this little world. Um, Abled or disabled, your choice. Um, you can try something that you might not have ever tried before, which I think is always a fun thing to do, both like when in my art and like in D&D. It's something I've never done before, but now that I've done it, I'm addicted. It's a
Mm-hmm.
problem. But I think it's something that someone should try at least once. And if you don't like it, that's fine. But at least you gave it a shot. Like my dad says, don't knock it till you try it. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say just give it a shot. And if it's not for you, that's fine. But you might end up liking it as much as we do, maybe a bit more. And you can make awesome stories and make new friends. And those friendships may last a few months, a few years. You never know. But it's I'm trying to think of how to put this. At its core, D&D is a collaborative effort where you can go in with this character and explore this world that you've never seen before, people that you've never met before, and you can make your own story and your own adventures. And honestly, what's not to love? I mean, come on.
Exactly. Play D&D, guys. Do it.
Do it now.
Right now. Go to dndbeyond.com. Not sponsored, but
Make your first character.
Go right now. I can send you the character sheet right now. Just put a comment below. I got you. Yeah. I think all of us as a character sheet though we could share it too. Let's be real at this point. Yeah. Yeah, no, like D&D is quite a ride, and it's interesting. This is also why I wanted to do like an interview with someone, because I see it D&D in my own way, in my own eyes, and what it's done for me. But to hear from other people, I can also be like, yeah, that's true. I've also kind of done that as well, haven't I? So it's really neat to hear from other people. So it's really cool. Yeah. Okay. I've got another question. Why not? I have questions for days. I'm a teacher. It's what I do. But what do you look forward to next for D&D? Like upcoming sessions or more characters? What is something that you were looking forward to next in the D&D world?
Definitely more games.
Yeah.
Both like with Ben Fish's group and also with other groups. Maybe with my own group. Who knows? But all in all, more games, more stories. Maybe, I don't know, maybe someday making my own homebrew story? Who knows? That's definitely another to-do thing that's like right below becoming a better DM. But it's there.
Yeah. And
yeah, like making new friends, connecting with old ones like Dragyn, because we don't really get to talk that much outside of sessions, but when we do, it's still fun time.
Yeah, definitely.
And honestly,
Go ahead.
And also, who would have thought it, like, 2 years ago? Yeah, years ago when we met, like in Minecraft, like you said, who would have thought we'd be sitting here doing podcasts? Because I certainly didn't.
Right? No, me either. I didn't even know podcast existed back in Minecraft days. Wow. I also feel old now suddenly. Don't you feel a little old?
Yeah, but I meant like less like that, but like you never know what's gonna happen. Like one day you can be playing Minecraft with someone, the next day you're playing D&D, and the next day you're doing a podcast and streaming with them and having just oodles of fun.
Yeah. And then like there's a few more steps in between all that where like suddenly we've created merch together, and that was a thing that happened, and then emotes, and suddenly it's like, well, we've created a world. Just through friendship. Guys, find a friend who can basically take your ideas and put them into a picture, which is still really cool. Oh, it's such a good time. But yes, for me, I'm definitely, well, now that with like Fishy's group, like Finn Fish's group, there we go. I'm looking forward to, like, I know sessions being cancelled is just part of the game, which really sucks, but I think what I'm looking forward to is I'm actually going to take up a little bit of a Dean or a DM hat soon and running little mini stuff between cancelled sessions. I think that'll be fun. Especially because I've got the world of Critical Role in a book at my side, and now I get to try to Matthew Mercer it. It's not going to be Matthew Mercer level, but it'll be derpy, it'll be great, and I will be great.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dragyn. That sounds exactly like Critical Role.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. I pretty much just Sam Regaled that. Oh, goodness. Well, Ro, any last words about D&D and life with D&D before we end?
Just like I said before, if you guys haven't tried it and you want to try it, there's resources. There's Roll20, there's D&D Beyond, there's books, there's PDFs. All you have to do is get out there and find them. Find yourself a group. Roll some dice.
Couldn't have said it better myself. even if you just do a quick little Google search, I promise you that will be a rabbit hole worth diving into. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, thank you so much, Ro, for joining me. This was actually quite fun. I had a lot of laughter, and it's cool to hear your stories about D&D.
I have plenty more, so.
Yeah, I mean, yes, if you guys want us to go for more stories, let us know, because we'll happily come back.
Yes, for sure.
Right, well, for me, I'm gonna do my plugging, because I guess podcasts do that. Did you know that? I didn't know that, but I have to do it, I guess. Check out Ro. She's got like an art Twitter and like things like that, and she'll open commissions when she can. She's awesome. I have all of my things basically in the description, so just, peruse there, because I didn't realize how many social links I had until I actually started listing them in descriptions, and I have a lot apparently, so check it out.
Do it.
And
Do it now.
the merch specifically is actually created, most of it, I think all of it, except for like 2 pieces, have been created by Ro. So if you want to really check out a portfolio of her work, my merch store is great for that. And we'll end it there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you were able to get nice and warm by the fire. And I'll see you guys in the next video of whatever I do, because I do a lot. Bye!